I am from Dalton, Georgia, carpet capital of the world. We make enough carpeting on an annual basis to pave a 6-lane highway around the equator.
They should send you a check for that.
Dalton, Georgia. Population about 34,000. The place Deborah Norville started on a journey toward her now 40-plus year TV fame. Perhaps her career would never have taken off if it weren't for this announcement at her high school one day.
If you were a senior girl and you wanted to cut 5th period, come in here what the JCs had to say about junior miss. Well, I didn't know what junior miss was, but I knew what 5th period was, so yeah, sure, I'll go.
To skip 5th period, students had to showcase their special talents.
I was too shy to sing in front of anybody. I do not tap dance, I cannot twirl. Do you really want to hear somebody stand there by themselves and play the flute? No, but I made my own clothes. And so I modeled outfits that I had made, so my talent was sewing.
Well, she won, and she picked up another skill, magic. Yes, magic, and started winning pageants.
I went to the pageant in Mobile, Alabama. It was televised by CBS. So I saw the guys who were like putting up the lights and rigging the cameras and building all the stages, and they were working so hard, but they were so friendly. They just liked what they did. I wanted to be a lawyer because I love research. One of my mottos is facts are your friend. And when you got the facts, girl, you're gonna win. And I thought, well, if you did production and you did research, like what I really was attracted to law for, you'd be a TV reporter. I just dreamt it up.
And talk about a dream come true. Deborah has had one heck of a career. She has won 2 Emmys for her work in network news. She's been inducted into the Broadcasting and Cable Hall of Fame, and just recently was awarded the Lifetime Achievement Award from the Broadcasters Foundation of America. Most of Deborah's time in TV has been on Inside Edition, the face of the show for about 3 decades now.
What do you do on the 30th anniversary of working here? How do you even celebrate that?
Well, you wait to see if they let you come to work that day. You don't put the cart before the horse.
Before Inside Edition, Deborah, while a student at the University of Georgia, worked as a local news reporter in Atlanta, later working in Chicago, and then a big break. New York City called, offering her a job hosting NBC's News at Sunrise, and her ascend didn't stop there. She landed a lead role on the Today Show.
I couldn't have dreamed this big. I'm from Dalton, Georgia. We barely had a radio station. We didn't have a TV station. We didn't have a McDonald's until I was 14 years old. I couldn't have dreamt this big.
Barely 30 years old, Deborah's arrival led to negative undercurrents, breaking up the iconic duo of Bryant Gumbel and Jane Pauley.
Yeah, the Today Show said go away.
Deborah went on maternity leave and did not return to Today after only about 14 months as co-anchor.
I was literally on the front cover of one newspaper, The Other Woman. They spoofed me on Saturday Night Live as the Three Faces of Eve. Yeah, no, it was pretty intense. And long story short, they even reported that I had gotten pregnant to save my job.
The New York Times reported Deborah became the center of criticism about younger women forcing older women out of jobs in TV. Also in that article, Norville described the criticism she received as a, quote, real character builder that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy.
One woman opined that I reminded her of the high school cheerleader who could do the entire football team and then ace calculus. And I've been a born-again Christian since I'm 15. She said, and she's got this is a direct quote, she's got this born-again thing, ... She must be stopped. I jumped before they could push me. I didn't think I would ever be on television again. I spiraled down into a massive depression, did not leave my home for 6 weeks, did not get dressed for days on end, only left the apartment to take my newborn baby to the pediatrician for his visits, and we left the country.
Where'd you go?
We moved to the south of France. We rented out our house. We rented a place there. And even in Europe, they were talking about me. And there was a story in the International Herald Tribune, and I said to my husband, my name is going to be in there. So there was a picture of me breastfeeding. The hue and cry, Deborah Norville nursing in public. No, actually, I was home. It was bad.
Deborah returned home to a job offer that would return her to the airwaves.
Funnily enough, ABC Radio had asked me to do a talk radio show. And I succeeded Sally Jesse Raphael doing a 3-hour call-in show from 7 to 10 at night first guest was Barbara Walters. My second guest was Oprah.
And that was it. The rest is history after that. How did you mentally get past that? For them to ask you to be back in the spotlight, so to speak, did you flinch at that?
It was God making this happen. So again, I see the Lord's hand in a lot of the good stuff that's happened in my life.
Her experience, the good and the bad, led Deborah to what has now become new chapters in her career via a whole lot of books. Her latest one, Thank You Power, where she writes about the science behind creating good in life.
That's the kind of stuff that I read. But I wonder what made you say, I'm going to write this book.
Honestly, I was bored at work. I'm not going to lie.
It was going to be this great.
There's nothing profound. I was bored at work, and I'll tell you exactly when it was. It was when Britney Spears had shaved her head. She was beating up cars with umbrellas. Lindsay Lohan was getting arrested for DUI every time you turn around. And I'm like, and I went to journalism school for this. I had a lot of extra time on my hands, and I wanted to just sort of follow a hunch I had, which was I felt like my life went better when I focused on what was working as opposed to fixating on the things that went wrong. But, like, where's the proof? Remember my motto, facts are your friend. Was there any data to back that up? And so I started going into peer-reviewed academic literature and looking at the actual research that was published by people who were in this field. Your dopamine receptors are located right here. When you feel good, when you're in positive affect, it all happens right here. You will be smarter if you go through life in gratitude. You will be able to solve problems because you will see different bits of information that come together and like, that's it, eureka.
Deborah figured it all out, the source of overall happiness in finding her way back to a successful road she created in Dalton, Georgia, after a pretty dark turn. With around 5 million viewers every day, Deborah's impressive work in the TV industry continues to be top-notch. And as she embarks on another milestone year at Inside Edition, she shares perspective that can resonate with everyone.
So if there's a moral of the story, it's, for me anyway, keep your eyes open, keep your arms ready to receive, and always be grateful. Because people want to help those who say thank you. And if you go through life ready to receive and ready to give back gratitude, you might end up with a dream a lot bigger than you could have dreamt.
My goodness, that's beautiful.
That was a good one. That was an ender, wasn't it?